Well, hello my YouTube friend. Today it is my pleasure to present you actually what was supposed to be a video about this knife, the Nirvana from Mr. Peter Rassenti in Canada. Yeah, definitely I wanted to make a video the first time that I got this knife in hand. I carried it like almost every day since then. So I wanted to make a dedicated video for this one, but I received in the same time this one, which is a collaboration between Mr. Peter Rassenti and the French designer, my colleague, French colleague actually, that's it, sorry, oh man, it starts well, erratic as always, Tashi Barosha, so the French designer. And that knife is the Poka, which means, thanks for the explanation, Mr. Tashi, which means pocket katana, which it is because it's a humongous knife. The blade length is 4 1/8. So yeah, it's a really, a pocket sword, I would say, or a pocket katana, as they decided to call it. But let's start. We're gonna show this knife a little bit more later, but really the review was supposed to be about that, because that's a more common knife that you can get. And actually, if ever you have the opportunity to get a Nirvana, do it. I mean, jump on that knife. This is like 7 made. I mean, I'm just showing off, you know, when I present this knife. But this is something that you can get more, and actually that you can use more, because that's the ultimate EDC. That's what it is. Simply, for me, this is the ultimate EDC. I haven't had any other knife. I had a really great knife like the GSD2 with David Moser and sorry about that, Langma. Also, I had some stouts. What I'm saying, when I'm talking about those EDC that I'm mentioning, I'm talking, of course, custom EDC. I'm not talking about production or mid-tech EDC. You know how I adore my Shirogorov mid-tech or Spyderco Domino, for example. But I'm talking here about pure custom EDC. And in this configuration, it's hard because, you know, usually the custom, you pay some amount of money to get them. You don't want to waste them. So if really you use them per se as EDC, they need to be not only real nice and artistic custom, but also to be really sturdy. And you don't find that often in the custom world. So for me, it's pleasant because I love to have the best possible knife. So if it's done by hand, and it's something that I can use without the fear to spoil it, oh man, it's even better. So this knife fits all those requirements, and I'm absolutely in awe of this knife. Just my favorite, as the Shirogorov in the mid-tech is my favorite today EDC. This one became, over the GSD2, over the stout Leviathan or the Parabola, this knife became my ultimate EDC in the custom world. So what do we have? We have, as usual with Peter Rassenti, his trademark is the integral. So, of course, you all know what an integral is, but for those of you who are traveling here for the first time, it's one piece of titanium drilled inside, cut here for the lock. So basically, one piece of titanium for the handle. This is Peter Rassenti trademark. Is doing that with CNC. So it's still a true custom, but you can tell that the finish is just about perfect. It's not done by hand or oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, we have another integral here. Really, I didn't present it, but it was here. So here you can tell with the finish of Dalibor that it's done in a more traditional way without a machine. So I love that, my friend. And I also love Peter Rassenti's integral, as I love Jerome Hover's integral. Those guys make a really nice job, and every one of them has their place. I love integral, and they're doing that absolutely greatly. So yeah, that's his true trademark, and those integral are just splendid. So here on the Nirvana, I used to have a snafu, which was a thicker and longer blade and everything. So it was just a splendid knife, but for EDC it was a little bit too heavy, too thick. So this one is the perfect size, man. It's just, I hate space, but I'm telling you that this knife, you don't fit it in the pocket. Look at that. It's thin, but yet it's got to be way more sturdy than thicker, other thicker knives. Why? Because it's an integral. So that gives him more resistance and way more sturdiness than if it was too scaled with the hardware, which are, of course, some weak points on the handle. Sorry about that. It's one of the that's the first time that I'm losing. I'm telling you that the knife is so smooth that you cannot miss either with the thumb or with the index. You cannot miss one opening. I don't know how I managed to miss one just in front of you. That's just silly. So what do we have? Okay, so we have the integral, but look at the work that is done on this integral. First of all, the thing that you can see is the finish that is called the granite finish. I don't know how he achieves that, but I'm telling you something, my friends. This is the best finish in the world for an EDC, because what minor scratch can you see with that? I mean, you couldn't scratch that. Even, I mean, you would have to do that on purpose to get a scratch on this thing. So that's very well for the carry, for the pocket carry. Then you have his grooves. I love his grooves. Not only here a groove, but here you see you have this kind of also a groove, another groove here, drilled here. The finish, the contouring, that's a contouring, sorry. The contouring that you have here also, it's just splendid. Man, the attention put on this handle is just fantastic. Look at that here. Here it's thick also, and the contouring makes it a little bit thinner here. There is a splendid work of contouring on this handle. Here's some jimping. Look at that, my friend, is just fantastic. Here you have in the relief cut his signature, which leaves, and that's one of the things that I love about Peter, which leaves his blade sterile. So yeah, the signature is here. Just adore this 3D clip. Simple, you know, makes for not very deep carry, but enough of a carry in the pocket. I like it like that. This way you have a nice reach on the knife to put it. Very nice. Very nice granite finish. Here you have the stop pin, which is, you know, well hidden like that here. So it's an external stop pin. External, or, you know, it's difficult to say if it's external or internal, since it's oh man, come on, an integral. So yeah, very nice. Here, I haven't asked already, but I'm pretty sure that it's a kind of inlay of zirconium, I would say. Most definitely a zirconium, I would say here. I like the Steve Kelly pivot. I like everything about this knife. I mean, the handle is just greatly done. And you have here again, not only the function, but also the real artistic work of Peter, of the contouring and the grooves and everything on this handle. And the feel in hand, this granite finish, this contouring that you have makes it for a splendid carry in hand. The feel is one of the most fantastic. If I'm telling you that it's my favorite EDC, it has some reason, and this is one of them. I mean, the feel of it is just splendid. It couldn't be better than that. The grip is splendid, and here you have on the blade one crazy jimping, one of the best I've ever seen. Your finger, it doesn't hurt you, but it gives you a security that for, you know, some real nice cutting task here, you are very well secured. The choil here is very well for your thumb, and it makes like for a guard. So the guard is just splendid here, so it won't be slippery for the index. And between the guard that you have here and the jimping here, The grip is fantastic. Just fantastic. Fantastic. This is for the handle. On this side here you have the lock. The lock is very secure, that early, as I love them to be. No stickness, no movement whatsoever, side to side, front to front. It's rock solid, I'm telling you, rock solid. And yet the smoothness is, look at that, boom. I couldn't be happier than that, because, you know, when the blade falls by its own weight, you might get hurt. Look, I leave my thumb here, boom, it stops here. Just like that. I don't know how he managed to do that, but like 90, 100 degrees, the blade stops, and boom, that's it. Just insane. I love that. And then after that, boom, smooth. And you heard the detent. The detent is just perfect. Perfect for a thumb opening, of course. Because you need to get some it's not a flipper, so you need to have a nice detent so it won't open by accident. But if I flick it hard enough, yeah, you see, it will open, of course, because if you couldn't open like that with a great motion, that wouldn't be as smooth as that. But what I mean to say is that the ratio between the detent and the smoothness is just blowing my mind, because this is exactly what I like. This is exactly what I want to get, you see? So that kind of smoothness and also that kind of nice detent, and I'm telling you that you would have to make it really hard and a really hard movement in order to open that blade. So that's the perfect combination, the perfect ratio between the detent and the smoothness. Then what do we have? Damn, already 11 minutes. I need to go faster. Then what do we have? Why it is my best EDC? Look at this blade shape. I mean, it's obvious. Look at that. All this blade, all the blade length is useful. You don't have a ricasso, you don't have a choil, and it's a nice belly. So look at that slicer. Isn't that a perfect knife for EDC? Man, it's just insanely done for EDC. That's what I like, the organic blade shapes like that, all in roundness, and the function is just splendid here. Of course, you can trust, the tip is very, very pointy, but it's thin, so I wouldn't go as far as to pry with it, but it's not a true function in EDC to pry, but whatever. I'm sure that I could take it anyway. So I absolutely love also the finish that you have on the blade. This is my favorite finish actually with the Rassenti's blade, the stonewash bevel and this very nice satin hand rub. Spidey hole as a way of opening, which is just perfectly done. The reach is nice because you have the choil here on the handle, so the reach is very nice, and it's actually the reach that you have and the feel that you have with Spydercos. You know, usually people, other makers, they don't achieve the Spidey hole as well as Spyderco because it's either not too aggressive or whatever, or you don't have the reach, the nice reach. Peter does that perfectly well, either with the thumb or even on the other side for lefties. Let me be a lefty for once, and you know how I'm not a lefty. Look at that. If I'm not a lefty, I'm not a lefty. I mean, I don't know how to use this hand. For me, it's a useless hand, but look at that. Look at that. I mean, look at the smoothness, and even that I can, you know what, I'm discovering now that because of this knife I can be a lefty now. So all the lefties will be happy with this knife, except that they will have to carry, there is no versatility, of course. Luckily, mercifully, there is only one way, and it's a tip-up carry. This way you don't have other holes there for lefties or for those people who would like to have a tip-down carry, which is, that would be stupid to put holes in this beautiful knife. So yeah, definitely my best EDC. I'm gonna leave it at that because we are reaching the 15 minutes, but I'm pretty sure that you know why. And I'm sorry, but I just have 1 minute to say that I love this Polka, and this collaboration is just insane. Look at the beauty of this knife. But again, this is just for the show off. As for you, I'm not pretty sure that anyone could get a knife like that, but what a splendid work between Mr. Tashibarosha, the designer of this blade, of this knife, with Peter Rassenti. They did a great job doing that splendid knife. But again, the important thing for me is if you can put the money for this one and get a Nirvana for an EDC, you couldn't be happier than that. And on those words, I'm gonna say bye-bye and see you next time. Bye-bye.